Daily Broadside, day 1022. I think it's 1022. It occurred to me the other day who Trump reminds me of. His narcissistic, egotistical ways. How he can't be wrong about anything that he, like... I've worked for people before that refuse to admit when they're wrong and go back on something because it would look like they were a failure. That is like the epitome of the world's worst version of a leader. Like, if you can't realize that you screwed something up and just make it right, you suck as a human being. You shouldn't be leading anything. You shouldn't be leading a horse, But Steven Seagal, if you know anything about Steven Seagal, his ego is way up here. His ability is way down here. That's Trump. Trump is a moron. He's just so stupid. His vocabulary is limited to everything's beautiful, everything is great, this is grand, we're the greatest ever. I know the most about this than anybody. You're stupid, I'm awesome. Like, that's Steven Seagal. Now, Steven Seagal doesn't talk as much, but if you look into Steven Seagal and all his, eccentricities. What's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the word. I don't know any more words than Trump does apparently this morning. You'll see, it's the same stuff, No one can beat me up. I'm the greatest fighter that's ever lived. I'm amazing. I play guitar. I'm like the greatest guitarist ever. And anybody who plays guitar can watch him play guitar, and you're like, that dude doesn't know anything about guitar. That's like the same note. It's just bad. He's Trump. He's Trump. In fact, you get them in the same room, I think the black hole would be created. It's crazy. And I'm gonna tell you what. Somebody started calling it the deflection pool because this moron won't answer questions. But I wish a reporter, and I get it, man. The media sucks most of the time. They're biased as hell on both sides. Like, you can't get impartiality unless you go to these independent companies. And that's the only place you can safely get news. I like Crystal and Sagar myself, but the point is, like, I wish but that said, you can't just denigrate somebody and just attack you. Who are you with? Why does it matter who they're with? Just let them ask their question. What's that got to do with the question that you're about to be asked, Mr. President? Now, we'll give him this. He will go in front of a camera, but I think that defeats his ego more than anything. I mean, Biden didn't do any press conferences because he was a blithering moron. I mean, when was the last time we had somebody... I'm going to go back to, like, Kennedy and Eisenhower since we've had somebody Jimmy Carter was a decent human being, but he was a horrible president. But, like, when was the last time we had one that wasn't, like, just bought and sold? It's stupid, The Bushes, the Clintons, Obama, everybody's just paid for. Now, we've had crappy presidents my entire life, and then some, But, I'll say this. What was I saying? I don't know. I was saying, the media. So I wish somebody would go in there and they would phrase a question as such. They'd say, Mr. President, can you name something? I know that your president, all presidencies are, fraught with good and bad. They have, they have their good days and then they have their Katrina days. They have their good days and they have their Cash for Clunker days. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody has their faults and whatnot. What could you point to in your presidency within your 2 terms here that you would classify as something that you could have done better and that was not exactly a success? Or, pose it to where he has to admit that something he's done has not turned to gold because he thinks he's fucking Midas, and he's not fucking Midas. He's an idiot. And I guarantee he wouldn't answer the question. He would turn it around to, who you with? Well, y'all suck. You're a horrible news outlet. Next question. It's like, what are we paying this idiot for? I don't get it. And, when you think about, like, the balance of powers, Congress should be, the judicial branch should be just as important as the head of state. And yet, we always think in our heads, like, the president is the leader. Well, the president is, but at the same time, they're all supposed to be equals. Why don't we think of it differently? Why do we focus so much on this one person? It pisses me off. And now we've got this vandalism thing in the pool that I guarantee you never happened. It was just put in wrong, not put in right, and all this other crap. And now you got people being scapegoated for political purposes by being arrested for vandalism when all they were doing, from what I can gather, was like picking up a piece of the pool lining out of the reflection bond. And I gotta say, like, you know, it's their reflection bond. I mean, they pay taxes. They bought that stupid liner. If it's floating on the top of the water, why not let them have it? Who cares? But no, we got to make it look like it was vandalism. I wouldn't be surprised if they got people going out there at night making cuts in the dumb thing just so they can have evidence. Because I don't know if you saw the park police commissioner. What a douchebag. He's right up there with Trump. Just a complete yes man douchebag. They're all fucking douchebags, and it just pisses me off. He can't even answer a question as to whether or not there's vandalism. The men and the women of the park police are the forebears of the great standard of law enforcement. Fuck your people, man, because they're probably back there going, this motherfucker. You know, we're out here having to guard a goddamn pool, and, you know, it's stupid. It's absolute. Where'd you serve? You're asking National Guard people. Reflection pool 2026. You know, like, what are you doing with your lives? Like, this is not why you got in the military. It's just dumb. It's so fucking dumb. We got all these problems, and we're worried about an 18-inch basin pool thing. I don't know how deep it is, but that's what it looks like when I'm there. It pisses me off to no end. We're never gonna have anybody in power ever again in this country that will like. They're always just gonna be complete fucking just douchebaggery going to the nth degree, and that's just what we have to get used to because they all suck. And sorry to be so happy this morning, but it just pisses me off to no end. Y'all have a good one. Get him.